Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, NerdModon, and welcome to Recap, a video series where I'll be going over what has been occurring over the last week and just talk with you guys about things that you can be expecting in future episodes. So with that said and done, let's jump right into the episode, shall we? So starting things off on the YouTube front, things have been going pretty well when it comes down to the content being uploaded, and I'm pretty satisfied with the performance of the videos by itself. I feel like they've been doing what they're supposed to be doing. You guys have been enjoying them, which I always appreciate, and everything just kind of seems to be working out pretty well when it comes down to the scheduling system. Now, with that said, of course, this week started off a little rocky for me. I just really wasn't feeling the YouTube game, so to speak. I really was struggling to really have aspirations or inspirations to complete the videos, and that was something that was a lot different. And it's not because of something you guys did or the performance of YouTube by itself or anything of the equivalency. It's just I was not exactly waking up at the time that I was supposed to be. So basically what was occurring is that I would stay up really late at night to kind of hang out with some friends and overall watch some great movies, recap on kind of what was going on the sidelines when it comes down to the movie and TV shows that I maybe have been missing. Now, of course, with that all kind of said and done, what would happen is I would wake up later in the day, which wasn't something I was accustomed to, and I would panic and start getting stuff going. Now, I don't know why I was panicking, considering that it doesn't take terribly long to make all the videos, but it's still a lot of time. That whole rendering process is not something that I can just shake right off. That's about 2.5 hours that those videos take to render, because, I like to bring you guys great quality. That's kind of what I do, and I'm pretty satisfied with how things have been going. But overall, things that were happening was I was just really in such a rush that I felt like time was so small, but in reality, it really wasn't. I had plenty of time to get stuff done. I was just kind of panicking to get things done. And of course with that I just had some moments where I was literally freaking out because I didn't want to make the video because it wasn't something that I was accustomed to. The scheduling was completely wrong, and it just got me into a mood that wasn't very happy. It definitely wasn't something that I had woken up and been like, oh, I can't wait to make videos. It was the complete opposite, and I just had that moment where it just really wasn't worth my time. At least that's how I felt. Now, of course, I enjoy YouTube. If I didn't, I wouldn't have done it for 3 years. I wouldn't keep making videos. I enjoyed the YouTube side of things. I may not get hundreds and thousands of views, which is perfectly fine, but of course with that said, I do enjoy doing it, and I'm pretty happy where things have gone so far. Now with that said, of course, when it comes down to the gaming side of things, I really haven't been interacting too much with the games that I thought I'd be playing. I have quite a bit of games, I'd say, for a Steam user. That's just something that comes accustomed to having a PC for over a year. You kind of buy stuff, you play stuff from time to time, and there's some things that you just never touch. That's just kind of how the stuff works out. Now with that said, of course, since I've achieved max level in Battlefield 4 a little while ago, I've found that there's a little part of me that has nothing to do and has no inspiration of playing other games, considering that the other games I have don't really have a purpose or something that I need to achieve to, in my mind, tell me that I've hit max level or I've accomplished the game or finished it, and that's something that's really been lacking. Now, of course, I can go play Call of Duty if I want, but I don't really want to play Call of Duty. I haven't really had any aspirations to do something like that. And when it comes down to Arma or anything like that, there's not really a main storyline or nothing that's really interactive besides playing the campaign that isn't very interactive by itself. So I've kind of found myself in this spot where I don't necessarily have a game that has a scheduled system to it that I'm really interacting with. I mean, there are games like Arma and all that stuff like I've talked about, but when it comes down to it, I just don't find myself enjoying the experience. I mean, it's great in the time, but when you look back on it a day or so past, I look at it and I just look and go, well, I just wasted a whole day of acquiring some max level or something like that. And that's just kind of how I work. I've always worked like that. I've always been somebody where if I don't have max level, it just feels like I haven't beat the game or I haven't destroyed it as much as I should. And that's just something that's been with me for a long time. I'm sure many of you guys have different looks at how gaming should be used, but I use it more as a way to achieve max level, move on to the next project, and rinse and repeat. And I know that's not maybe the best way to play things, but if you've played with me, you probably understand that I'm not somebody that trolls. I'm not a very energetic person when it comes down to it. It's a very serious experience, and it's more nor less an experience where I want to demolish and destroy the other team to the point where they don't want to play anymore. And that's just kind of how I've been for quite some time. But I guess you win some and you lose some when it comes down to it. So of course, now we come down to the real life aspect of what this video is all about. I kind of tell you guys about what's been going on the sidelines, as well as what my aspirations and hopes are for the next couple of weeks, of course. Now, of course, I really haven't been doing a whole lot when it comes down to the real life aspect. I haven't really been talking to a whole lot of friends to speak of, but that's not to say that I don't interact with them in one way or another. But in the real life aspect, not really going on strolls or walks or anything like that. Not really my cup of tea, so to speak. But of course, when it comes down to it, I've been really pumping out videos. I feel like I've been doing pretty well in those, and the aspects that they uphold, I've been enjoying for the most part. Of course, we talked about it in the beginning where I wasn't really feeling it this week, but, it hits you every once in a while. After doing it for 3 years, there are some things that really start to get to you after a while. But that's to be expected, of course, once you've done it for this duration or this long of a period. But as of the moment, got some more job applications out there when it comes down to the workforce. Of course, as a citizen, you kind of have to do it. You don't really have a choice. Otherwise, the street's your next option, which to me does not sound enjoyable whatsoever. But when it comes down to it, I guess that's up to you to make that decision. But for me, I'm going to jump into a career, hopefully get some more money. The applications I sent out pay a lot more than what my previous job was, which is always a pleasure. I think making more money for a centralized action is always better than making minimum wage for horrible environments that usually uphold that minimum wage system. Now, of course, with that basically said and done, no callbacks yet, but I just kind of got the stuff done the other day, so I don't imagine I'll be getting one necessarily back for the next couple of days, but I have high hopes. I have a good resume, and overall, the jobs that I have occupied, I've always been in them for a very prolonged amount of time, so I shouldn't have a problem with that. That should come very naturally, and I'm usually pretty good at putting on a fake smile when it comes down to it. So that should be hopefully in the works. I'll let you guys know as soon as I get word back, but overall, that can be expected. Now, in relation to really what I've been doing on the side when it comes to free time, besides doing YouTube and really doing job hunting and everything that comes along with being pretty much a person when it comes down to the day-to-day aspects of what we live and breathe for, I have been watching a lot of movies like I told you guys about. I've been really enjoying going back through and watching some of the classics and some of the AAA movies when it comes down to it, like the Batman and stuff like that. Those are always good to watch. They just kind of get your mind going. And I've also happened to run across a couple of TV shows that I'm very surprised that I would enjoy. There's something that wasn't exactly in my realm when it comes down to it, but of course you do have the classics like Game of Thrones that has been coming on every Sunday night, and I've been really loving that. That's been absolutely insane when it comes down to season 4 of it. But of course, along with that, I've been watching some other shows that are on Amazon Prime. I am a Prime holder, so I do have the capabilities of watching stuff when I feel like, as much as I decide to do, and overall it usually comes pretty free, which I'm always happy about. I mean, you can't be too wrong when it comes down to watching and binge watching free shows, so that's always a pleasure. But overall, that's pretty much all I've been doing. Nothing really crazy when it comes down to it. I mean, I guess my life really isn't that insane where I live anyway, but by and large, I do enjoy the things that I do, and I'm pretty satisfied and content when it comes down to the main gist of it. But anyway, guys, that is going to be this episode of Recap. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys have anything to add or hopefully make the videos a little bit better, of course, let me know in the comments below. But until then, guys, I will see you in the next installation, and this is NMO, and I'm going to be signing out. Peace.